Hi everyone, Mark here, and today I'm answering a question from a practitioner in the UK. I've condensed the question into a summary because the question was a little bit longer. Why isn't breathing explicitly taught in mainline? It seems from what I have been reading that it was considered important at some point, and many other lineages or internal power training groups appear to be more focused on that. Thank you for your question. First, breathing or kokyu, you'll notice is both one of the 6 precepts of trainings and an aspect of Aiki that is being discussed under mainline. So it's the only aspect that's in both lists essentially. So by that you would assume obviously that breathing must be playing quite an important role in the practice. With that said, if you go to seminars, if you get your instruction from, for instance, from Kono Sensei or from one of the Kyoju Dairi, mostly in seminars, chances are you are part of a relatively large group, and in those cases, you will have a harder time as an instructor to go into certain aspect of the practice, and breathing would be probably one of them. If you ever come to the seminars that are normally held yearly in Katsura, and in Japan, basically it's a week-long seminars, 8 hours of day of training. And if you have the chance to come a little bit earlier, maybe the week prior or 2 weeks prior, and train at the headquarter dojo, you will notice that the training format is very different, and that people there also tend to train very differently. One of the aspects you will notice is that there are some breathing exercise. As a matter of fact, right before you do suburi, you actually have one set of training exercise there. But you also notice that people executing the kata will generally do it in one breath. It's basically kind of kokyu to zanshin, or zanshin meaning leaving nothing behind, putting everything, all your energy, giving your all, basically. And to be able to execute everything in one breath, including the kiai at the end, it does take practice, and I would argue technique, in the sense that you have to do it according to certain principle. So it is being trained, and it is being pretty central. Now, back to the seminar environment, you'll see a lot of people will generally focus more on the mechanical aspect of the practice. So if it's the jujutsu, it's going to be the details about the technique and how it's being executed. And if it's other types of exercise, then it's going to be, again, the mechanics of it that's going to be focused on. And when people come down to practice, you'll see that instead of executing whatever it is that they're doing in kata format, especially the Mokuro curriculum practice, you'll see them basically go and they do the technique, and they get back, and the person being thrown or being to which the technique is being done, they're doing the technique, and they get back up, and there's no zanshin at all, and it's just kind of back to position, and then you do the technique again. If that's how you practice, it's impossible to practice the breathing, at least one aspect of the breathing, properly. And if the training was getting stopped every time to focus on that, I think it would make things very, very, very hard to move forward. So to summarize, It is being taught. It is being taught in dojo environment more than in seminar environment. If you go see the headmaster, if you go train to the dojos of the headmasters of the tradition, you will be exposed to that. And if you do not have the chance to join those training, I would strongly suggest that you engage with the headmaster of the tradition, ask them questions about it, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to instruct you in on that subject more specifically. But breathing isn't something. Maybe one last thing here. Breathing is part of a whole here, very much so. So yes, you do have exercise to develop it, but the idea is that it is part of the execution and of the practice. And if you don't practice a certain way, and if you consider Daito-ryu as a practice to be solely a catalog of techniques, then yes, you'll basically kind of end up in a situation where those things get overlooked. So I hope you liked the answer, or at least that you found the answer interesting. Thank you for your time, and until next time.